Hello friends, it has been a minute, at least it feels like that. It's very unlikely that you guys care, but just a little quick update on my life. I am unemployed. I was laid off right at the new year, and then I got sick with COVID. So I'm trying to catch up with content that I had planned originally and had recorded. In a couple previous videos, I think I mentioned trying to get a more regular schedule, so I guess now that I'm spending my time lamenting at home and begging for jobs, any additional time, I plan on making some more videos. If you have any suggestions or feedback, feel free to let me know because I have too much free time now. Now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and get into today's video. Today's topic is similar-ish in nature to one of the previous topics we had discussed, which was anti-work. I am still in the process of editing a r/recruiting hell video, and today's topic has a lot more to do with that sub, and I actually found out about it through that sub. And if you're at all familiar with r/recruiting hell, you might have an idea of where this is going. Our story begins with a Y Combinator-backed startup. Their motto? Interviews don't work, we're working to eliminate them. Their name? Skip the interview. Now, if you're at all like me, you might be wondering to yourself at this point, what the hell does that even mean? Well friends, let me go ahead and explain this further. All information that I have used to make this video, it was collected through various screenshots that were taken from Reddit, screenshots from Twitter or what's left of the company Twitter, a couple of articles that were covering the story, and then an archive of the company webpage. With that said, we can go ahead and look directly at the company webpage, and here we have a statement from the CEO, Chris Evans. Not that Chris Evans. We believe a strong reference from your previous coworkers is worth more than your ability to tell me how many golf balls can fit in a mini. Those references only matter though if the person referring has skin in the game. At Skip the Interview, that is what we are creating. Okay, Chris Evans, not that Chris Evans. How it works. Referrals are the best way to judge if someone is incredible at what they do, but currently referrals are meaningless. You hear that, guys? They are meaningless. We changed that by getting referrals to put their money where their mouth is and reward them if they are right. Looks like it's broken down into 3 little steps here. 1, find a job you love, and it'll have an amount of sponsorship you need to raise from your previous coworkers set by the hirer. Step 2, coworkers sponsor you. Send out a link to people you have worked with before, asking them to sponsor you for this new role. It can be as low as $50. And step 3, start whenever you want. Start as soon as you gather enough funds. If you stay on the job for more than 2 months, your sponsors get double what they invested, minus our fees. Speaking of fees, we take a 30% fee of the amount paid out to either your backers or the company. How can you afford to pay out my sponsors double? Companies spend around 20% of your yearly salary on recruiter fees. We, instead of giving this money to recruiters, are getting the company to give this money to people you know as a way of saying thanks for the great referral of you. That felt weird to say. Isn't this discriminatory? Actually, we think it's the opposite. Lots of people either don't interview well or are discriminated against in the process. By removing this process altogether, we can help people who otherwise wouldn't get in. We only allow funds to be raised by previous coworkers and have processes in place to verify this, and the amount to raise is based upon the salary you are going for, which we believe evens the playing field for being able to raise the money. And then I'm invested in this, so my dumbass keeps trying to navigate the webpage as if it's the actual thing, but it has a little list of some of the top YC companies we work with. When I first came across this in the Recruiting Hell subreddit like 3 months ago, I remember there was a list being made, and I think it was on Twitter, of companies that were choosing to participate in this, otherwise known as companies who were okay with candidates buying jobs. As you may expect, Twitter and much of the internet did not agree with this. Additional comments by the CEO made it sound like this launch was just to gather, I guess, public opinion, which is still weird to me because I 100% recall seeing that list of employers that were already participating. So I don't know if it was like an official launch or what, but that wasn't made super clear. Oh my god, I found one of the screenshots I was looking for. Fucking thank you, Twitter. So here's the screenshot I mentioned, and it's for Gerald Technologies. They're looking for a full stack developer. For this position, they wanted a candidate with the help of their coworkers and bosses or whatever to raise $11,000 in order to skip the interview and get hired. $11,000! Just going through all these screenshots previously and the old comment threads and the old Twitter threads, I saw a couple of mentions for $500, $600, and that's even ridiculous to ask your coworkers to cough up money for that. But $11,000? So I took a quick break. I was able to chill out a little bit, but I hope it's abundantly clear just how crazy I think this is. That screenshot for Gerald Technologies indicates that this list of companies on the archived website may also be pretty accurate. It's still $11,000. I really enjoyed working with some of my coworkers, but $11,000? I feel like anything over $20 is too much. And I understand that they said this is like on a spectrum and it's relative to the salary of the position that you were applying for. I understand that the CEO even said that, no, this isn't discriminatory. It actually does the opposite. I get that. That's true to an extent. But it comes to socioeconomic status. If you have the money, or if you have people in your life that have the money, you're going to be able to get jobs more so than people who don't have that money. Here's another screenshot for Gerald Technologies for a Python engineer. And this one asks for only $8,000 to be raised. One of my favorite parts of this is, like I said, I found this on the r/recruiting hell subreddit. And when this blew up on the subreddit and went viral, one of the mods actually commented on the situation, and I will include that here. Just so you're aware, Chris Evans 1112, your platform is just completely stupid. As a manager, I would not pay $50 to recommend one of my employees or former, no matter how great they are. Also, your idea is incredibly discriminatory when you ask people to pay any amount for anything. Look at poverty statistics by race, gender, sexual orientation, and disability. You know the saying, birds of a feather, right? Hate to say it, but the reality of it is, black people have more black friends on average than most white people do. In fact, on average, out of 100 friends, white people have 1 black friend, whereas black people have 8 white friends. Same thing applies to all other categories listed above. Quote, "We really were not aiming for something discriminatory. Given the above and aside from money in your pockets, what the fuck were you actually aiming for?" And actually had long discussions about it with quite a few people. Who? Brick, Gerald, Perfect Recall, Journey, and My Analytics? Tagging people that I can find on Reddit from the company so that they can see this. If you fucking support this idea, you're insane. But we didn't get close to the right outcome, so we will talk to a lot more people before moving ahead. You should be saying, "We realize we're pieces of shit and we just got caught trying to stuff our pockets. We own up to it, and we'll try to actually make the world better next time. So fuck your business model, fuck this idea, and fuck your startup. You can fucking burn to the ground in recruiting hell right where you belong. P.S. I wouldn't renew your domain if I were you. It's a major waste of money." And since the mod actually tagged the CEO, I'm gonna go ahead and read their response to that post. "Hi, this is the CEO. We actually launched just to get feedback, and clearly the feedback was not positive, so we are definitely going to talk to a lot more people before moving forward. We really were not aiming for something discriminatory and actually had long discussions about it with quite a few people. But we didn't get close to that right outcome, so we will talk to a lot more people before moving ahead. Thanks for the feedback, Chris." If you go ahead and look at their Twitter, which appears to have been abandoned, the last tweet or response is, "This is Chris the founder. As you can see, we have taken down the site and we'll be talking to a lot more people before doing anything similar. We wanted feedback and we clearly got it wrong." And then here's a screenshot of the website after all the outrage. "We hear the feedback and we are going to go away and discuss more before we think about going ahead." Okay then. I'm still bewildered that an idea like this got a green light and had backers. But yeah, friends, I believe that is where our story ends. There have been no recent updates from the Twitter, from Reddit, from the CEO, from anyone that I saw interact with them heavily on Twitter. I hadn't started making videos when this was going down, but I was losing my fucking mind over the entire thing when it was happening. And the other day I was thinking, hey, this happened and it's pretty ridiculous, so I hope you found this somewhat entertaining. Let me know if you have any feedback for me. I do appreciate it. And if you've run into any similar situations, let me know. But that's all, so thank you so much for watching and have a good one.